Least favorite things about space. Part 12. It's time to talk about how absurdly large some things in space can be. The biggest asteroid we've ever found is Vesta. Some people might say that it's Ceres, but Ceres is technically a dwarf planet now. While Vesta doesn't look very big compared to like the moon, put that dude next to Florida and you're like, okay, now we're talking. The biggest moon we've ever found is Ganymede. Ganymede is wider than Mercury, the smallest planet, but Mercury has more mass. Then when we start talking about planets, it gets a little bit more complicated because there's a gray area between what's a planet and what's a star called a brown dwarf star. With a lot of these exoplanets being so far away, it's hard to nail down sometimes exactly how massive or the exact radius or diameter of a planet like this. These are two of the best contenders that we found so far. Then if you start talking about stars, it gets even more complicated because there's like 50 supergiant stars that might be the biggest one. People were pretty set on Stephenson 218. Then basically the calculations looking back at them weren't super accurate, so they're trying to redo it and see if it's actually the biggest one. But then this guy over here has a pretty good case going for him. This is another one that's in the running. Regardless, all these supergiants are so big that like you literally have to compare them to a smaller star if you want to compare the sun to them. Then if you want to talk about the biggest black hole, most people will tell you it's Phoenix A. But there's a debate going around right now because Ton 16 has more research done on it and Phoenix A is a little bit harder to see because it's at the center of a galactic cluster. They both make those supergiant stars look like shrimps. Then if you want to go bigger than that, you have to start the galaxy debate because there's the biggest galaxy is Alcyonius, but it's a radio galaxy, so it has these crazy jets that are going out in either direction. You want to argue the real part of the galaxy might be right here, and if that's the case, then it's not the biggest galaxy. In that case, it might be IC 1101, but then some people argue that IC 1101 isn't the biggest one either because you might be measuring part of another galaxy, or you might just be measuring the haze. If that's true, then it's probably this guy. And if you want to go bigger than galaxies, there's super voids, right? And there's two big contenders there. There's the Boötes void, which is like 330 million light years across, but then there's also the KBC void, which is what we exist in. Some people make the argument that the Boötes void is more of a true void because it's more empty. But if you want to choose one thing that is truly the biggest thing in the entire universe, is the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall. It's a massive chain of galaxies. This thing is 10 billion light years across, 7 billion light years wide, and like a billion light years thick, which